Hi, this is Justin, and this is a summary video of my wristwatch collection containing 4 wristwatches. And it all began with the Seiko SKX009K, so the K version being not made in Japan, but everything is basically the same on the watch. Contains a 7S26 movement, just not made in Japan. And as you can read there on the bottom of the dial, it does not say made in Japan. But other than that, every other spec of the watch is the same. I have it on a Super Oyster bracelet, which is polished on the sides and brushed on the top, and basically matches the watch finishing perfectly. You can get that off Strapcode, and this also has the chamfer diver's clasp with 6 micro hole adjustments, as you can see there on the side, so you can really fit it to your wrist nicely. It's a really nice watch. I've had it for 3 years now. The 7S26 movement beats at 21,600 beats per hour, and it's pretty accurate. It runs fast, so you do have to adjust it every now and then. But it is an excellent movement. It's never caused me any problems. Not a single aspect on the watch. Just scratches and dings. But it completely serves its purpose perfectly as being an everyday watch for every type of environment, and that's the Seiko SKX009. I also wanted to mention that the bezel is this ionized plating of some sort, some type of application. It has not scratched, not even once, so I don't know how they accomplished that kind of surface, but it is extremely durable, and you don't have to worry about little scratches standing out here. Maybe over a certain amount of time or a certain contact with something would cause that, but over 3 years and everything else is scratched except for that bezel, so it's pretty impressive. I just wanted to note that. And next we have the Orient Monarch hand-wind only mechanical watch, and this is actually an in-house movement 48C40, and it's hand-wind only. It has really nice case finishing. It's all polished. There's no brushed surfaces here with this watch, but it's extremely well done. The dial, I really love the dial. It's very, very clean, and you have a nice long seconds hand that stretches out past the chapter ring, so it's very, very easy to tell time and read each individual second lapse. And the minutes hand as well is stretched out just to the inner edge of that chapter ring, so that as well is very easy to read the minutes, and the hour accordingly is shorter, just to differentiate between the hands. It is a seconds hacking movement, so as soon as you pull out the crown, the seconds will stop, and then you can resume the movement. It also has a hand wind, so you have a power reserve indicator to tell you when your movement is fully wound, and you have over 40 hours of power reserve, and it will stop winding once you get to a certain point. It won't let you overwind the movement and damage it, so you don't have to be concerned about that. Then the back, you have an exhibition case back. Both the crystal and the case back crystal are mineral crystal. They're not sapphire, so they will scratch, but it has held up very well so far. Here on the back, you can see the movement and operation there. There is no rotor, which I really like that, because you can see every single piece of the movement is really clear, and you can also watch as the hand wind function is in operation. As you're winding the watch, you can watch the lever click into the cog as you're winding. So you just feel very connected to this watch, and obviously being a hand wind only watch, it does require you to wind it every day, and or whenever you're about to run out of power reserve, and just makes you more connected and more personal to the watch. So then you have a nice leather strap. I definitely don't look to replace it at all. It's very flexible, high quality. The finish is nice. It's a nice textured finish, and you have also a signed buckle, Orient signed buckle there. So they really did everything perfectly on this watch. I have no complaints at all. Nothing looks cheap or out of place. It all fits perfectly, and I highly recommend it. The Orient Monarch. And lastly, I have two Bulovas. The first one being the Bulova Moonwatch. Contains a ultra high frequency quartz movement, 262 kilohertz or 262,144 hertz. So that's what the movement runs at, much faster than a traditional quartz movement. And you get almost a perfectly sweeping seconds hand. It does have a slight shudder to it, and that just makes it, to me, it just makes it more authentic to the movement used in the original Moonwatch, being a Valjoux movement of some sort. So it sort of mimics a automatic movement with a slight shudder of the seconds hand, so it's not perfectly sweeping, but is very nice. And so you have the chronograph function. You can stop that and reset it with those pushers. The pushers are really nice spring-loaded operation there, and they're very smooth. So you can restart that again. You can keep precise timekeeping. I love the seconds and fractions of a second that you can read. It definitely just goes back to its roots of keeping very precise timekeeping for the astronauts on the moon. And so as the story goes, Captain David Scott had this watch as a personal watch, and his Omega Speedmaster, which was issued to every single astronaut for the Apollo missions, had broken. So he had this as a backup watch, and it served him in the Apollo 15 mission in 1971 without any issues, and it recently sold as of last year for $1.625 million. So it's quite a historic piece. The only watch other than the Omega Speedmaster to go to the moon, and this is the basically a very well done replica, if you would say, of that watch, except for the movement not being a ultra high frequency movement. It's etched on the back here, Apollo 15, July 26, 1971 to August 7th, 1971. So some nice case back finishing there, and it says here ultra high frequency movement that did not contain on the original watch. So Bulova Moonwatch, really great, worth every penny, and definitely highly collectible. Then lastly, we have another Bulova, and this here is a Bulova Accu-Swiss, which Accu-Swiss has recently been discontinued as of Citizen purchasing Bulova back in 2014, and they started this Accu-Swiss line, which is a Swiss-made Bulova, Swiss-made movement, and very high quality. They're top of the line watch for Bulova. So this to me really looks like the Omega Railmaster in a lot of ways, and that's one of the things that really attracted me towards it, and I've really enjoyed a lot. The sunburst dial is really nice, the very vintage inspired dial design. I love the crosshairs on the dial. It has a Sellita SW200 movement, which runs at 28,800 beats per hour. And so not an ETA movement. They're starting to phase out the ETA movements on all these Swiss companies, except for a select few. But still, the movement is essentially identical to the ETA 2824. That would be the replacement for this movement. But it's a hand wind and automatic, so you can choose to wind it by the crown, or you can just just use it and wear it, and it'll power itself. So you have just a traditional case back here with some nice finishing there, nice sunburst finish on the case back, and then all the writings there. It is water resistant to a certain extent. You have the Bulova signed buckle there, and so that's the Bulova Accu-Swiss 63B177. And thank you for your time, and I'll talk to you later.